Welcome back to the deep dive. So if your world involves any kind of extended business trip, corporate relocation, or, just trying to figure out the workspace needs for a really mobile team,
Hmm.
you know the biggest headache.
Oh, yeah.
It's flexibility that doesn't completely obliterate your budget. Today, we're zeroing in on a strategic move right in the heart of the Asia-Pacific market that aims to solve exactly that problem.
That's right. We're diving into ORIX Corporation and their pivot in the service to office space, specifically the launch of their new master membership plan. For anyone who tracks how major players are adapting, especially for professionals who need accommodation and workspace for months, not just days. This is the blueprint.
Okay, so let's break that down. Just think back a few years. If you leased a flexible office or a co-working space, you were basically anchored.
Right.
Your membership, your desk, all of your access,
Right.
it was all tied to one single physical location. If your next client meeting was clear across town, you were either commuting all the way back to your home base or scrambling for like a super costly day pass somewhere else. That model is just obsolete now.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I mean, modern business, especially across these huge urban sprawls like Tokyo, it just requires fluidity.
Yeah.
ORIX saw that. They recognized their traditional model was restrictive, and the demand today is all about corporate efficiency and mobility. So what we're looking at is a solution that turns 4 major city hubs, and more soon, into one unified workspace for a fixed fee.
So the goal for you, listening, is to walk away knowing not just what this plan costs, but why ORIX is making this move and how this tiered multi-location access fundamentally changes the game for corporate teams on those extended stays. It's a complete shortcut to understanding the next evolution of serviced offices.
Let's start with the fundamental change in the value proposition. This isn't just a loyalty program, it's a complete structural redesign. The master membership plan lets users access multiple co-working spaces across their designated ORIX cross-office locations, all of it under a single fixed monthly fee.
I mean, that's huge. When you think about the logistics of an extended stay in a city like Tokyo,
Oh, absolutely.
where, a 45-minute commute is basically standard, the ability to just pop into a professional, trusted hub near your client is invaluable. So what are these anchor locations we're talking about?
So the initial network, it's very strategically mapped to cover key business districts. The designated bases are Uchisai-Waicho, Mita,
The big ones.
Shinjuku, and Roppongi. Exactly, the major hubs. That's a really powerful constellation of locations. And they already signaled they're going to grow, with cross-office Hibiya set to join the network in March 2020. This is clearly a strategy to create a true citywide network.
And just to be clear, we are focused specifically on the co-working spaces here, right? The sort of communal hot desk style environments, not the private locked offices.
Precisely. This plan is designed for maximum transient use. It's targeting the individual or maybe a small team that needs a flexible base of operations. But this strategic goal, it actually goes deeper than just providing desks. ORIX has stated that this plan is designed to promote, and this is their term, dynamic interactions and community building among users.
Wait, dynamic interactions, that sounds high touch. And usually that kind of premium experience comes with a premium price tag. How does promoting a community fit into a fixed fee access model?
Well, it's a key insight into the modern flexible workspace. By encouraging movement across Uchisai-Waicho, Shinjuku, and the others, they're increasing the odds of those serendipitous encounters.
Ah, I see.
They're creating a unified ecosystem. Think about it. A consultant who's usually based in Mita might bump into an entrepreneur from Roppongi. ORIX is basically facilitating networking as a value add because they know that those connections drive business value for their clients.
Okay, that context makes a lot of sense. So flexibility and networking are the core promises. But now we have to talk brass tacks. In the corporate world, value is often defined by the monthly expense report. What are we really looking at financially for this multi-location privilege?
The base level of access is pretty clear. The fixed monthly fee is 30,000 yen, and that's excluding consumption tax. There's also a one-time enrollment fee of 30,000 yen to get your membership set up. So that 30,000 yen, it kind of sets the baseline for what we can call the standard mobility tier.
30,000 yen is compelling for access to 4 major locations. But access, as we all know, it always comes with some fine print. Where does ORIX start drawing the boundaries to make that price point work?
That's where the tiers of flexibility really come into play. And it's a brilliant strategy for managing the load on the network. For that standard 30,000 yen tier, members still have to register a primary base.
Okay.
And that primary base is your sanctuary. You get 24/7 totally unrestricted access there.
Complete freedom at your home base.
Correct.
Yeah.
But When you want to use the other participating locations, the Uchisai Waichos and Mitasis of the network, your usage is restricted. You can only use those sites during standard business hours, weekdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That is a very smart use of access control. It lets companies use the plan for, load balancing and convenience running into a satellite office for a few hours near a client without overloading the whole system during peak evening or weekend hours. It really targets the 9 to 5er who just needs occasional flexibility.
Exactly. It controls their risk while still providing enormous utility. But for the high mobility professional, say, the international exec or the entrepreneur working across global time zones, that 9 to 5 restriction just isn't going to cut it. And ORIX anticipated this with their premium upgrade option.
Ah, the ultimate flexibility boost. Tell me about the price tag for true freedom.
For an additional 10,000 yen a month. So that brings the total recurring cost to 40,000 yen plus tax. Members can essentially buy back their time. They can register all participating bases as their primary site.
Wow.
And that grants them full 2047 access across the entire network. Uchisa Waicho, Mita, Shinjuku, Roppongi, all of them.
For anyone who's ever flown into Narita or Haneda, adjusted to a massive time zone difference, and then needed a secure, reliable place to take an emergency meeting at 4:30 a.m., that extra 10,000 yen starts looking like an absolute necessity, not a luxury.
It really is.
It's the difference between working effectively and trying to, balance a laptop on your luggage in a hotel lobby.
That's the difference, right? It's cost control versus operational necessity. This tiered structure balancing the 30,000 yen cost saver with a 40,000 yen high flexibility option, it lets corporate travel managers and extended stay planners precisely match the workspace cost to the employee's actual mobility needs. It eliminates that expensive overkill of getting 2047 access when you only need it on a weekday now and then.
It's a very sophisticated response to the market. It shows ORIX isn't just reacting to demand, but they're strategically segmenting their customer base. But this whole pivot toward hyper-flexibility, it's not just about a new fee schedule, right? It reflects ORIX's larger evolving strategy in the adaptable workspace sector. What else does the broader cross-office brand offer?
Right, so the master membership is the shiny new mobility part, but the cross-office brand provides a whole spectrum of serviced office solutions. Alongside the flexible co-working spaces, they offer traditional private rooms. And these offices are designed to be highly scalable. They can accommodate teams from, say, a solo founder all the way up to a pretty sizable quarter project team of 25 people.
Which allows a business to start small with a flexible membership. And then if the project grows during their extended stay, they can just transition seamlessly into a dedicated private office without having to change vendors or locations. That integration is vital.
It is, absolutely. And if we want a really tangible example of ORIX's commitment to not just space, but quality space, we have to look closely at the cross-office Hibiya location, which opened back in March 2020. This location wasn't just another build. It was really conceived as a model for the future.
Okay, so beyond the obvious benefits like direct station access, which is, let's be honest, a non-negotiable in central Tokyo, what made the design of Hibiya so revolutionary? I keep seeing this phrase business well-being attached to it.
Business well-being is their strategic differentiator. It signals a move away from offices being these purely utilitarian boxes. The Hibiya concept, it aims explicitly to enhance productivity and comfort through targeted sensory stimulation.
Sensory stimulation in an office, how does that work beyond just having a nice view?
Well, it's about manipulating the environment to influence cognitive performance. Think about it. They're using specific lighting designs, like circadian rhythm-friendly illumination, to support focus and reduce eye strain. They incorporate soundscapes or acoustic zones that buffer external noise but allow for a gentle, non-distracting background sound. It's all to improve concentration.
So it's not just noise cancellation, it's more like engineered acoustic comfort.
That's a great way to put it. And on top of that, they pay really close attention to material choice. They incorporate natural elements, textures, even specific indoor plants. A lot of concepts drawn from biophilic design to make the space feel less sterile and more invigorating. This combination of visual, auditory, and textural stimulation directly impacts stress levels and your ability to focus for long periods.
That points to a pretty profound realization. The workspace isn't just a necessary utility expense anymore. It's a strategic asset for employee retention and performance. If my consultant is staying in Tokyo for 6 months and they are measurably more productive and less stressed because of this environment, the business wins.
You've hit the nail on the head. If we connect this to the bigger picture, By incorporating business well-being and this advanced sensory design, ORIX is selling improved output, not just square meters. They are aiming to create spaces that foster new business opportunities and value creation for its clients, making sure they stay competitive against rivals who only offer a basic desk and Wi-Fi. It really elevates their offering from a commodity to a strategic partner.
So let's bring it all back to the key takeaway for you, the listener. We've seen the price, the locations, and the strategic commitment to the employee experience.
The essential takeaway is really simple. The launch of this fixed-fee master membership plan, the one that grants multi-location access, is the market's definitive answer to that overwhelming corporate demand for maximum convenience and predictable cost control in the serviced office world. This is how major providers are adapting to the fluid nature of work.
It's a complete dismissal of the old single-site mentality. They're replacing it with a truly mobile, tiered ecosystem. That 30,000 yen entry point is smart cost control, but the 40,000 yen premium access that offers genuine, competitive mobility across one of the world's densest urban centers.
And zooming out, this model fundamentally shifts the relationship between a professional and their workspace. The strategic value that's placed on mobility, on community, and on these sophisticated well-being features means ORIX is setting a new high bar. And this raises an important question for you to consider. If this flexible, tiered, multi-site model becomes the dominant standard for extended stay solutions in key cities like Tokyo, how quickly will this aggressively flexible approach start to erode or influence long-term corporate leasing strategies across the entire Asia-Pacific region? Will the commitment to a fixed, long-term, single-location office lease soon be seen as an archaic, unnecessary expense? Something for you to mull over until our next deep dive.